we're going to do some side splits today. We're going to try and keep this short, 20, 30 minutes, because it's Sunday and you don't need to spend that much time doing the stretches to see results. What we do here is practice consistency every single day. We do just a little bit of stretching, nothing super intense, so that you can come back tomorrow and join us for more. All right, the first stretch we're going to do is called the hip CAR. CAR stands for CAR, controlled articulated rotation. I'm gonna have to do a little bit of a squat because my camera cuts my head off, and this is one of my first couple of times streaming. So haven't figured out those details yet. All right. So I'm going to demonstrate slightly at an angle while I lean against the wall so that you can kind of see my face while we're doing this. We're going to start by raising the knee as high as possible, opening as wide as possible, then bring the ankle up almost as high as the knee. I'll show you that from the front. Ankle up as high as the knee, and then bring that leg down and back so that the hamstring and the glutes are pulling this leg back behind you, behind the standing leg. All right, that's it. Let's do 10 reps. Up, open, rotate, back. Up, open, rotate, back. Up, open, rotate, back. I like that this is just me, this headless figure doing some stretches in front of the screen. Up, open, rotate, back. 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 I think that's about 10. If it's not, I'm sorry. We're going to move on. All right, next leg. Same thing. We're going to switch to the other side. Up, open, rotate, back. Up, open, rotate, back. Up, open, rotate, back. Up, open, rotate, back. I think I messed up the wording and the motions, but that's okay. You get the point. Up, open, rotate, back. Up, open, rotate, back. Up, open, rotate, back. Up, open, rotate, back. The goal of these is to make sure all your muscles are moving and controlling that motion that's going on in your hips and trying to get the maximum range of motion out of that hip joint. All right, we're going to reverse it now, and that means we're going to do exactly what we were just doing, but in the reverse order. All right, go back to the other leg, not the one that you just did rotations on, and we will lift that leg back using the glutes and hamstring. Stretch out that tiny bit of hip flexor over here. Up with that knee and ankle still lifted up. Ooh, I'm off balance. Rotate so that the ankle is down, and then bring it back to the front so that the knee is up. Okay, back and down, side, ankle down, knee. I know some of these cues can be a little confusing, especially because when we face the front versus facing the back, they're slightly different. But back, side, ankle, front, back, side, ankle, front, back, side, ankle, front, back, falling off balance, back, side, ankle, front. If you're struggling with balance like me, if you have a wall, a bookcase, or anything at all, feel free to grab it and use that for balancing. All right, now that I've told you to do that, I'm going to do the same thing for myself. Back, side, ankle, front. We switch to the other side. Back, side, ankle, front. 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 That has got to be at least 10 of those. So we're ready to move on. Whew, not much standing left, so you'll be able to see my beautiful face. Let's see, next up is elephant walks. Elephant walks are basically a movement-based hamstring stretch. Get some blood flowing, To start, you kind of get into this L shape. If you're a little bit higher up, that's totally fine. Get to where you can. As long as you're feeling a little bit of a stretch in your hamstrings, we're good to go. All right. You don't have to bring your feet too close together. They can be about hip width apart. And what I want you to do is straighten one leg. I'm going to straighten the leg closer to you, my right leg, and bend the other, left leg. I want you to grab around your upper thigh-ish area, maybe your hip area. Just do a little bit of rotating. Rotate your chest. In my case, I'm rotating it to you towards the camera. But you want to rotate towards the straightened leg. All right. If you do that while not bending forward, you feel a nice stretch in your back in that rotation. But if you are bringing your chest down to the ground and then rotating, you should feel a deep stretch in this outer glute area and a little bit in the hamstring. All right. We're going to do that on both sides. So I have switched over to this side. My right leg is now bent. My left leg is straight. I am bringing my chest down, rotating my chest towards the straightened leg, and I'm feeling a stretch in the outer glute and hamstring. The more I try to bring my chest to the ground, the more I feel the stretch. All right. Especially if it's the first thing you've done all day for your hamstrings and your glutes. Take the first couple a little slow. We're going to do a total of 10 of these. I think I just finished number 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I might have just counted a little bit fast. I was counting the singles and not the doubles. I think now I'm at 6. This isn't about going fast. This is about feeling the stretch a little bit and warming up. If it is summer for you and you are hot anyway, don't worry. I know you're starting to sweat now, but this will help with the splits later. All right. All right, I think that's about 10. Let's move on. From there, we are getting into the Cossack switches. First, let's get into a wide-ish stance. We're not trying to do splits just yet, but wide so that you can point your toes about 45 degrees and have your knees follow, track that. Then drop down onto that one hip. If you're new to this, definitely try to keep your ankle down. If that means you're here, that's fine. The full foot down helps you to stay balanced. And being up on your being up on your toes might make it a little bit more difficult when you're trying to figure out this movement for the first time. All right. There's a lot going on here. Your ankles are flexing, your knees are bent. You should be feeling a little bit of pressure at the hip here. And I just want you to hang for a second, especially on that first 2 or so reps. Do a little bit of pulsing if you would like. And there's a lot of joints involved in this. So feel free to do some hip rotations again, some ankle rotations, mix it up, discover what's going on with your lower body. We're going to be using a lot of those muscles and joints real soon. So take this moment to warm them all up. We're going to go from side to side about 5 times. And we're going to move on to the bread and butter, the stretches. I have felt a massive difference from the first one to wherever we're at now. Well, I'm way beyond 5, but my movement is going well. So I think that's my cue to start the hamstring stretches. So the hamstring stretch setup looks pretty similar to how we were doing the elephant walk, but the one major difference that I'm going to suggest for especially beginners is to step slightly in front of you with the leg you want to stretch and throw your hips back so you can create this horizontal plane with your back. All right. Now I want you to focus on moving your hips back to change the angle of this hamstring stretch. All right. I don't want you to focus so much on Try to touch your toes with your back bent. I want you to focus on keeping your back level and using the hips to do that. All right. So what that means is this working leg, the leg that's over here for balance, is going to be working real hard for this stretch. But I promise it'll be worth it, especially if you have slightly tighter hamstrings, because this will really, really help you pick your angle and work on that hamstring. All right. So let's stick that glute out this way, throw those hips back, and feel that stretch. I've got a deep stretch going in my hamstring right now. I want you to try and bring your belly button and your chest level, but down a little bit to increase that stretch. Take a couple of deep breaths and see if you can get a little bit more comfortable in that stretch. And then we're going to hold this for 30 seconds while you try to bring your belly button to your thighs. All right? 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. The reason why I like to do this stretch this way, especially for early in your journey, is because when you're seated on the ground, it's really hard to lean forward and feel the stretch. And then you need stools, you need stuff, you need all this stuff to feel like you're getting into the stretch. But the whole time your back is like, ooh, and you're struggling. The way I teach it, I feel like you have a little bit more control and precision. And you can really engage that hamstring right from the get-go, no matter your skill level. All right, switch to the other side. Same thing, stand up straight, step slightly in front of you, throw the hips back so that you create this angle with your leg, and take a couple of deep breaths. Relax, widen your stance for balance, and let's go, 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24. You might notice some muscle imbalance. Maybe you're a little stretchier on one side than the other. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. I know for a fact my left side, ooh, almost fell. My left side is much tighter, hamstring wise, than my right side because of an old hamstring injury. And occasionally, when I'm doing really deep stretch, I can feel exactly where the injury was. This injury is like 8, 9, 10 years old. So if you've got something going on, make sure to be conscious of it and don't try too hard. We're not trying to create pain, we're trying to create consistency so that you can work on it slowly, yet make progress a little bit every single day. All right, hamstring stretch is done. That's the first of our 5 main stretches. The second one is nice and quick, is the butterfly. All right, so I'm going to use this back wall to support my back. I'm going to put my hips, my shoulders, and my head all against the wall so that my back is locked into position. I can focus on my hips. All right, let's pull the feet towards us. I have pretty smooth floors, but because I'm not wearing socks, I have just enough grippiness that my feet will stay in place when I'm working on this stretch. We want to keep the feet in mostly the same position, and we've already locked our backs into basically a position. So now we can focus on the muscles in the hip to work those and strengthen and stretch. All right. So when we're doing the hip cars, that first thing that we were doing and our legs were rotating, we're gonna use those same muscles to bring our knees down like so. And once you've engaged those muscles and they're already working, let's put our hands on our knees, add a little bit of pressure to help bring them a little bit deeper. We're going to hold this for 30 seconds, and you can try to get a little bit deeper as we go. Remember to breathe. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That's the butterfly. We're done. We're 2 out of 5. All right. The next stretch is called pigeon. I'm going to go off camera right here to grab a stool. Sorry. Did I call it a pigeon? I meant to say pancake. And there's lots of ways to do this. If you are less flexible, and that hamstring stretch that we did was really helpful because you're able to engage in that stretch in a way that you weren't able to before, then grabbing a little stool like this or a chair or a coffee table, as long as it's resting against something that will make sure it doesn't move behind you or out from under you, that will help create that angle to help bring your chest forward to do the stretch. But before I talk about bringing your chest forward to do the stretch, I should explain what the pancake is. The pancake looks a lot like a side split where you're folded in between your legs. All right. So we're winding the legs. And we're trying to bring our chest in through between our legs. I'm standing. If we were seated, it would look more like this, legs further apart. Okay. I'm going to do a variation that doesn't require any of these things, but it does require a wall. And the wall is going to serve the same purpose as the stool, and you can pick how you want to engage. All right. I'm going to take an easier variation if you have tighter hamstrings and low back. I'm going to step about 1.5 feet, so 45 centimeters for my non-Americans, in front of the wall. I'm going to widen the stance a little bit. I'm going to rest my butt against the wall the whole time so I can't fall backwards. My worst case scenario is I fall forward. As long as you get 2 arms, or maybe even if you only have 1, you can catch yourself forward, makes the whole thing safe, right? All right. So I'm going to widen that stance. And the pancake, the primary movement comes from the hip joints right here. We want you to fold. We want you to keep your back relatively straight. It might look cool to make progress, but it's hard to measure whether or not you're curling your back versus your hips are actually folding if you do a lot of curling. All right. So let's try our best to keep the back fairly straight. If it curls a bit, it's totally fine. And bring that chest down towards the ground. There's a ton of muscles involved in this stretch, so let's give it a second or two, take a couple of breaths to relax a little bit, and then we're going to maybe grab our calves, grab behind the thighs, and pull ourselves down a little bit. We're trying to keep our backs straight-ish. All right, we're gonna hold that for 30 seconds, and I'm gonna start counting right now. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, that is the pancake stretch. It is probably the most difficult stretch that we do. And I feel it deep, deep, deep in the upper hamstrings and maybe just under the glutes on both sides. I feel it in the hips when I'm folding forward. But I know my hamstrings are getting a deep workout after after the pancake. All right, let's see. After the pancake, we're going to get into pigeon. I'm going to do a, could also be called a figure 4, but the goal is to stretch out this side glute, inner thigh. And I'm going to do it back facing you so you can see what I see when I'm doing it. All right, that looks like this. We are going to bring our legs, our feet onto the floor, then bring that ankle over the opposite knee and reach through. You can go over. I find it more comfortable to go under or through here and around. And we're going to pull everything towards us. Remember, we want the ankle to be around an inch or two under the knee, the top of your bent leg. And we're going to pull that whole thing towards us. Remember, we're going to feel in the hip. We're going to feel it maybe in the inside of the thigh. And that's it. Let's do 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. This is one of those stretches where it's really easy to chill out way too much and completely relax. Don't do that. We only got 30 seconds. So focus on pulling that leg towards your chest. All right. I'm going to rotate and do it from this angle. Don't think you'll get much learning from it, but I think you might be able to see my face this way. All right, let's do it. Reach through, pull on the knee, engage that stretch. Take a couple of deep breaths, and let's work it. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, steady pressure, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Whew. The reason I told you to really focus on that stretch is because I was daydreaming on the ground while I was counting, and then I focused on the left one, and it's way better stretch. All right, that is 4 out of 5 of our total stretches. We are now getting into the side split. For this one, depending on how flexible you are and how safe you want to feel, you can have a whole bunch of other stuff to hold on to. I am going to put down a couple of foam mats. If you're wearing slippers or sneakers, you already have plenty of heel protection to keep your feet comfortable. I put a lot of weight on my heels by doing this, and that's why I use the foam. All right, same deal. We're going to take advantage of this wall behind us, rest our butt against the wall so that we can't fall backwards, and we can only fall forwards onto our hands. And I am about 6 to 8 inches away from the wall with my feet, and that is probably 15 centimeters, 15, 20 centimeters. I was already stuck earlier, but by rotating, and it's called external rotation of my legs, I am bringing my knees, quads, toes to point up into the sky, and that helps to open up the hips so they can get deeper into the stretch. This is important because hip and bone structure. I'm not gonna get too deep into that because we're gonna work on the stretch, but that's something you can Google for yourself. All right, we're gonna hold it here for 30 seconds. And the more you lean back and put weight into the hip area, the deeper you'll feel the stretch, the more intense you'll feel the stretch. All right, let's get ready to count 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Whew. That's it. Take a deep breath. Relax for just a second longer. Slowly, maybe crawl forward. Bring your legs together and come out of that stretch. If you're getting pretty deep, take it extra slow. Take it chill. Relax. We're not in any rush. Take a couple of deep breaths. And that is it for our stretching session. We are almost done. We do a bonus pretty regularly, and it's called the horse stance. And we do the horse stance because it helps us build strength in this extended position. And at the end of the day, our bodies need to be able to control our flexibility to allow us to access that flexibility. All right. So the way I like to do horse stance is primarily splits focused and not martial arts focused if you're a martial artist. Instead of having the toes point forward, I keep the toes in line with the knees. And this is just personal preference. I don't think it makes that much of a difference, but start at 45. Try to open up your hips further and more wide if you can. But we're just getting stronger at our own pace. So take your time, do what you gotta do. Lower that butt. Once you feel like you've got a comfortable position, your knees are roughly over your toes, your knees aren't shaking around. If your knees are shaking around, just step in a little bit, stand up a little taller. Don't have to go as deep, and that will help you have a more controllable horse stance. All right. I want you to focus on keeping your chest up, perhaps looking up and away at the corner of your room. And we're going to do a 30-second hold in that position. All right. I'm going to do it at slightly an angle so you have all the information that you need from watching my body. All right. Wide stance, drop the butt low, chest up, look up and away. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Whew. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to do 2 of these. I know. We did 1 of everything else, but we're going to do 2 of the horse stance. This used to be a 60-second exercise that everybody was struggling with. By the end of it, we were all leaning forward and trying to not shake ourselves into a mini earthquake. And at some point, we decided, we should probably focus more on proper form and make it a little shorter, have a little bit of rest, and get good value out of it. So, my rambling is basically forcing you to rest a little bit while we wait and recover. And I think we got to be at least at 30 seconds at this point. So let's get into this final one. This one's going to be a little bit more difficult because 30 seconds is not a total rest. It's just a little break. All right. Same thing. Knees roughly over toes. Make sure your knees aren't shaking so much that you feel unsafe. Bring the butt down, chest up, looking away. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. We are done. That's it. Whew. I'm going to just casually lean against the wall so my head isn't cut off. And thank you guys for coming in to practice consistency with me, practicing the side splits. And that's it. We're done. I hope you had fun. I hope my explanations were good. I haven't quite figured out live chat yet, so I haven't seen any comments. My wonderful producer is over there doing that stuff. Okay, we're gonna keep learning, gonna figure out YouTube, but I hope you can hit a quick subscribe so that we can do it from YouTube mobile. We only need 50 subscribers to do YouTube mobile, but without them, we have to do YouTube desktop, and it has a whole bunch of random doodads that we've been trying to figure out. And so it'd be super helpful if you hit subscribe or whatever it is in the world of YouTube to give me a follow, subscribe thingamajig. All right, that's it. Enjoy your Sunday. I hope to see you tomorrow. Close.